Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Just so you guys know, if you guys haven't yet already, please be sure to watch the introduction and part 2 to this video before watching this one, or else it will not make any sense. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Right, so where we ended off the last time was my friend just took and discarded and disboarded of the board finally. She had her experiences, I had some of mine, and it was just getting to be too much. So then that happened. The board did not like this. We ended up hanging out that night. We talked about it. She showed me things that she did. And then she did other things too. She did take some holy water that she had from her house because, like I said, her family was super religious. And she like poured some on it and like gave it like a few, like, I don't know, like splashes. I don't know how you'd say that. But, you know, and she showed me what she did and she sent me pictures. She showed me it was like really creepy and all that. But then we're like, alright, maybe this is it. Maybe this would be done. Good, you know. Ended up going home that night, going to sleep. It's fine. So a few days later, at first it feels like everything's back to normal. Okay, for a few days it does feel like everything's back to normal. I wasn't so creeped out. I'm like, alright, this is it. It just needed to go. But then a few days later, it starts back up again, feeling like that weird dread, just feeling like uncomfortable and unwanted in your own house. Just like constantly being watched. And it'd be weird because like doing something like playing with the cats or like hanging out with my boyfriend, watching a movie, doing something fun. And then all of a sudden it's just like this weird feeling would come by. And it wouldn't just be us either. At this point, once the Ouija board got like destroyed, then the animals started being weird. And they were acting different as well. The one cat constantly hid away. The other cat would like be growling and hissing at something we couldn't even see, looking like she was like trying to trap it in corners of the apartment. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, it was like the creepiest thing. The gray one, Wubby, her. I wish she was up here. If she ends up coming in here, I'll pick her up and show you guys. She's a cutie, but she would like act like she like could see something and she was like aggressively attacking something and like trying to pin it in a corner, and we couldn't see anything, but it was like it would be like really ironic timing where like you'd feel that like weird feeling of dread and uncomfortableness, and then she'd be freaking out. So it started to affect the animals as well. This is going on a few nights. It just kind of felt weird, it just didn't feel comfortable, so it came back. And this was probably one of my most scariest times, personally for me, is I am sleeping and my boyfriend is sleeping too, and I know it's partly sleep paralysis, and I know some of it could be, and it could be, okay, but I really don't remember falling asleep. I'm pretty sure I was just still wide awake. I came home from work, I was laying in bed, he's already asleep, and I'm on the inside of the bed. We moved bedrooms again, by the way. So at this point, we went from that room back to another room. Told you, we kept moving around because I kept getting creeped out. And I am getting ready to go to sleep, okay? I personally really don't think I fell asleep yet. And I have the bedroom door closed because this is one where the door actually worked and stayed closed. So I didn't want to see anything. And I was really creeped out because I didn't even have the light off yet, okay? Still got it nice and bright in the room. And as I'm trying to go to sleep, I can suddenly feel the bed being pulled and tugged on. Mind you, there are no animals in my room at that moment. They are all out in the rest of the apartment. The bedroom door is shut, and I can see it being moved and getting taken from me. And I got so scared by that happening that I suddenly couldn't move. I couldn't even talk, and I was so scared, and it was just literally like the blankets were literally just getting pulled off. And it didn't make sense either because like there wasn't even that much space from where like they were being pulled to, because like literally it was like the bed and then it was like an entertainment stand. There was only like this little bit of space, okay, between that where you could have all the TV and all that. And it was just getting pulled down there, alright? And he's still sleeping. Finally, of this happening, I got so freaked out. All I could do was finally just go like this really hard, and he ended up like waking up and just looking at me. I'm just like mad, freaked out, and like super like just scared. It didn't make any sense. And he's looking at me, and at first I couldn't even talk. I'm like crying, but like I'm not saying anything. And he sees like, you know, that the bedding's all weird, and I tell him finally after like a good like few minutes of being freaked out on what just happened. And then he kind of helped make me feel better. I didn't get like no sleep that night at all, but that was really, honestly, really scary for me. On another night, I'm trying not to make this jumpy, but I'm not trying to keep it boring either. I just want to point out the nights that really freaked me out. I had a really bad day at work, and I had just a lot of bad stuff happen in my life at one period of time, and I was just not in a good place. And I think that's part of the reason why I had some of the things happen to me that I did, and that's why like a bad spirit felt attached, is because I wasn't in a good place at all. That's at least what I think. And I got home and I'm by myself, and I am sitting at the corner of my bed, and it was just a really awful time. I was feeling really tired. Like I said, bad things were happening. So I was just sitting there and I was crying. And this is weird to talk about because it's like, or some of these things are like, it reminds me where I was back then, and it kind of sucks. But I was really upset, and I was sitting at the corner kind of crying with my head down. And when I look up, mind you, I guess I don't have my glasses on, but like I'm not like that blind. I can see things, like, you know, but as I look up from crying, I see like that weird like shadow thing, that weird olivey gray with its own color tone. But this is the weird part, is for a change, like that was always at night. Like, I mean, it is nighttime, but no lights would be on. This time, like, I have my bedroom light on, I have my kitchen lights on, the front room lights and all that are still on. Even though that sheet's down, it still brings in plenty of light. And I can see like this shadow figure, whatever it is, this weird figure moving like towards the bedroom. I ended up getting so scared. At first I was just like frozen there, because everyone says, oh, I do this, I do that. When it actually happens to you, your brain is too busy trying to figure out, what exactly am I looking at? What am I seeing? It tries to rationalize it. And when I was looking at it, now all the lights are on it, I'm looking at it, there was no way to rationalize what I'm seeing. It just looked like a man figure. Notice there's no features or anything. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a shadow light. I don't know. A shadow light. It's just like a olivey figure that moved, and it didn't make any sense, but it was starting to come towards me. And after a few minutes of my brain like kind of trying to figure it out and like look at it and really just not understand and being like, wow, this is actually fucking real. I ended up getting up and hurrying up and slamming the bedroom door because I didn't want it to come closer to me. And then I was so freaked out. I was so scared. And mind you, my boyfriend's at home. I'm by myself. I'm already having a shit day. I was so scared. After like, I don't know, about like 30 minutes of being in there, which felt like hours, by the way. It felt like hours because I was so creeped out. I heard my boyfriend come in and close the door and all that, and he came in. And then I told him what happened. And, you know, he calmed me down and stuff, but it was like super creepy, and I didn't get like no sleep that night, but whatever. That was like super creepy, and that really scared me, especially because I was already down. And I know some people could be like, oh, maybe it was comforting you. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think it was trying to do anything good. I think it was just trying to feed off my bad negative vibes. At least that's the vibe I got. So then I do end up going back, and I do go to that Wicca store again, and I tell her things that are happening. She was so nice. I'm not really like a yay or a nay about that. Again, I was just being open-minded because I didn't know what to do, and I'm a very open-minded person, and she was really nice. So I did do the sage. I tried to sage my house. I also bought different incense. I also got different like crystals and gems and all that, and put them in different quarters and different areas of my house. I was even like sleeping with like quartz and like amethyst in different areas of my bedroom. And I even went out and I ended up getting holy water. I got that, and then I even got more holy water that was special for my dad because it was like passed down. It was like from communions and stuff from families. And I went along and I did all the edges, like, you know, different things said. Mind you, my apartment got really weird. This was all happening very fast, progressively in this stuff. So then we were also starting to have a lot of gas leaks, electrical problems. Everything electrical was like breaking. We had constant gas leaks, and I know you guys probably remember me complaining about that if you watch my old videos about that happening. Just a lot of really weird things were starting to happen. And then like my one cat got pregnant with kittens, and it was just like really bad luck. I don't know. And then like they all passed away, and like I might not be connected with that, but I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it was so negative at one point that I think that it was. And I know that sounds nuts. You can believe whatever you want, like I said, but these are just my experiences. And then I don't know, then I tried the holy water, and I put some of that through all the doorways of all the houses, and like, you know, I did different blessings, so I did different religious things. I even tried different, like, different feng shui things, and like, I mean, I was going all out to try to make things work. I was doing salt, like, you name it, I was trying. I even wrote to a few paranormal investigators, and I told them of some situations that happened, and I also sent them some pictures, and they just told me to get a priest. There was somebody who was interested, but they were only interested if we wanted to like be a TV thing, and I didn't want to do that. I wasn't interested in that, so yeah, I was good on that. They don't think at the time they weren't really popular. I think now they're like, I don't know if they're really considered popular, that show now either, but back then they were not popular or really known. But yeah, so that was pretty much it. They just wanted it for that, but not really to help, and I was good at that. This actually take me a lot to tell people this, because it's like super weird and people like look at you like you're crazy. But yeah, no, yeah, I wrote that, and you know, like I said, a few of them didn't either respond or like, oh, like that's too advanced for us, or we're not really sure to help. One people were like, get a priest. The other people were too busy like being like, you want to be on a show? It's like, no, I'm good. But I just wanted help with the situation. Of course we moved out, which was good. I'm glad we moved out. But first, so many things happened. My boyfriend's one friend spent the night at stove. Again, the guy that had the thing thrown at him. He ended up spending the night with his son, and they ended up spending the night one night. And I had to be a big girl, and I had to be brave, because in the middle of the night, his son ended up coming in the room, like our room, busted in. Again, this is the situation that happened. Now we're moved again, by the way, into another bedroom where we're like this again with the bed. So we're back into where the kitchen area would be, not closer to the front door. So we moved their bedrooms again. And they were sleeping out in the living room. The little boy comes running in. He's crying. He's upset. He swears, and I know he's a little boy, and I know he's a child, but of course I pretended like, oh no, it's fine, it's good. I walked him to the bathroom and walked him back in that room, which was so creepy, by the way. I did not want to do it, because when he came in, he was literally shaking, this little boy was, because he swore that there was something from where the computer room door, that he saw a man standing there. And I really think he probably did. And I know he's a little kid, and I know that, but trust me, like, if you ever went to that apartment, and especially went to that room, most people didn't even want to go in that room. It felt so evil. That's where the growl came from, the get out. It just had a dread feeling in it all the time. And that room was always so freaking cold, no matter what. It was freaking cold, and it was creepy. So I really think he was telling the truth, and that he saw something, but I had to try to be like big girl and pretend like I wasn't freaked out. I had to walk him back out there, and I was like shitting bricks, because I'm thinking, what if we see something now? Because like, I'm just gonna pick him up and run. I'm gonna be running. Yeah, that was that. And then the next morning, the little boy was telling his dad, and I was like, yeah, like he thought he saw something, and like we're all kind of looking at each other like, yo, I think he really did see something, but not telling him that type deal. But yeah, that was pretty creepy. But now going to this next part of the story. Sorry, not trying to jump, but this is how it is. So we're still in that room, going like this off the kitchen, and for a change, I'm laying on the outside, and my boyfriend's laying on the inside of the bed, which normally doesn't happen. We're just lounging, chilling, hanging out. We're not really like trying to sleep yet. We're just having one of those late night conversations. And he is facing me, so I'm on the outside, so you can see the doorway. And he is facing me talking. All of a sudden, he's in the middle of talking to me, and his face is just like, and it goes really white, and his eyes just get so big. And I'm thinking like what? And then after like a good solid few seconds, I'm thinking like, what's the matter, you know? And I go to look back, and I just see that quick glance, and I know exactly what just happened. And I was like, you saw it. I was so happy though, because he finally saw what I was talking about with going by the bedrooms all the time, and it wasn't me just being weird and neurotic wanting to move the rooms around all the time. He finally saw what I was talking about, because we were actually both up and awake and like doing something, and he got to see it. And then like, it's cool but not cool, but like it was cool in a way, because like when you are seeing something and nobody else is seeing it, it's like, oh my god, like no, like for real, this is happening. When he got to see it too, the kitchen light was on, so he really got to know like, yo, this was like happening, like that's real. So, like, that happened. He said it didn't creep him out. I know it must have creeped him out somewhat because he looked petrified in his face. He, again, though, was more interested. He did jump right up. I wanted to go follow it out there, like, to where it was going through, like, the sheet. And he was, but you didn't see anything. But he went right out there. He couldn't see anything. But he's more interested that way. I get more creeped out where I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. I don't like it. So I was happy, though, that he finally saw what I was talking about. And, he understood that I wasn't being weird, like, yeah, there is something going by the rooms all the time. And it did not matter which room we would move it to. It would always go by just wherever we were in the bedroom. Just to pretty much be like, oh, well, I'm here. Like, always making its presence known. Especially when you weren't thinking about it. It was like, oh, no, I'm right here still. Which was really annoying and kind of creepy. Like, it was like you couldn't stop thinking about it. Because there was always something happening if you weren't thinking about it. But now, going off. We're about to be close to the end here, so thank you guys for staying with me, but this is, I think, it for now. Yeah, this is going to be it. I'm going to end this here, I think. This is going to be one last final part, and then that'll be it. But I do have other creepy story times to tell you guys, not just this like one set, but I did want to start with this because this was a long story, man. This was a super long story, but I have one more final part that I will be sharing up soon, so please be ready for that. And thank you guys so much for watching. Alright, thanks guys, bye.